Show is brought to you by Chris Lindahl Real Estate and by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota. With Lindsay Whalen and Ben Johnson. Now, it's the Gopher Coaches Show.
Welcome into the Gopher Coaches Show. I'm Pierre Nugent alongside K-Fans Justin Gard. With us today, the head coach of Gopher women's basketball, Lindsay Whalen. Lindsay, good to have you back again. Your team has been awfully busy as of late. You played a stretch of 4 games in an 8-day span. Are there some tired legs right now, or is the team holding up pretty well?
Well, we're good now. So yeah, 4 games in 8 days with that rescheduled Northwestern game from New Year's Eve. Had that on Friday, but then we had the weekend off. We did have the weekend off. Yesterday, we ended up doing kind of more of an individuals day where we have some weights, some skill development, and then a little bit of small group breakdown of our offensive stuff and defensive stuff. So yeah, good. We have, obviously, another weekend stretch here with Thursday, Sunday games. So it's that time of year. Everybody's feeling it a little bit, but we were fortunate enough to get that game in with Northwestern and then have the weekend off, which was our bye. That somehow we lucked out and had the Super Bowl weekend as our bye weekend. So we're feeling good. Obviously, team is playing really well. So everybody's in good spirits.
And let's start with that Northwestern game, Linz. It was on a short prep because you were in Iowa City like 36 hours before. You wedge it in 3:30 Friday afternoon. Maybe your most complete effort of the season, though. You got out early. You got out to a huge lead in the second half, and you held on. What did you like about that game?
Well, I liked our start, up by 10 after the first. I liked how we handled a really unique defense that Coach Joe McEwen has been working on his whole life, his blizzard zone defense. A lot of teams really struggle, and I thought we had really, really good poise. I thought obviously Diva early. I think we'll probably see her here. She's somebody who you kind of just feel like at some point the floodgates were going to open for her. She hits, I think three threes in the first quarter, and just some really, really fun ball movement plays as well. Laura was tremendous. So overall, it was a great win for us against a team that's had a lot of success this year in the conference, and one that we're thankful we were able to reschedule from COVID and everything. A home game, obviously, and having the one-day prep, I thought Coach Shimmy, I thought she had a great scout, and our team was ready to play, and obviously it was a fun kind of late afternoon, early evening game at the barn, and we got out of there with a win.
Yeah, there's no question that Sarah Scalia has carried the load for you guys offensively for the majority of the season. But you mentioned a couple names in there, players starting to chip in, and one of them is Laura Bagwell-Catalinich, who has really come on for you guys as of late. What's clicking with her right now?
Well, yeah, I think she's healthy. I think that's been a big thing, is just and she's made the most of her opportunity. And she, it's a huge shot early, being able to extend that blizzard zone defense that they run. But just the last bunch of games, she's healthy. She's feeling really good. She's had a few things just kind of nagging throughout the year. She did have off-season wrist surgery, and now it just feels like she's really, taking that step on the court for us. And but leading up to this, I'd say her leadership has been really, really great, especially in the last month or so. She's really, used her voice and been somebody who's led us really well. And then she comes out and has 19 and 12 in a game where, in order to beat, we talk about the blizzard defense against any zone defense, the middle, the high post, free throw line, extended area is huge, that's where you can find some gaps, that in the short corner, and obviously shooting the three. But a lot of her points came in those areas, and that was really big for what we needed for that game.
You mentioned Coach Shimmy. She told us before that Northwestern game she really likes where the seniors have the team right now, and obviously LBK is a big part of that, but Gadiva Hubbard as well. We've touched on her a little bit, but her start against Northwestern really got you going on the right foot. But what have you seen from her? As her role has been all over the place this year, from starter to bench to now starter again. Like whenever you've needed anything from her, she's been able to provide it, it seems.
Yeah, she just continues. I mean, there's been times, throughout her career that, She's just made huge plays for us. At Nebraska last year, at Penn State last year. Now she comes out and hits 5 threes this year. I mean, just it feels like whenever our team really needs a lift, she's there. And like you said, you know, her role has changed somewhat throughout this year. And then I talked to her yesterday during our individual session. There's some great ball movement there. During her individual session, she played 37 minutes the other night as a 6-year, you know, graduate senior. And so, gosh, yeah, she just these seniors, the way that they are leading right now, the way that they're playing, has been a lot of fun to see. And now we're in that last 2-week stretch of the season, and thinking about Diva and Deja, Bailey, Laura. It's you know, we're gonna miss them. We're really gonna miss them, and they've all provided some really great leadership for us. Kayla, you know, in her 4th year of college basketball, it's we're gonna miss them a lot, but we're happy to have them for at least a few more weeks, and then hopefully longer if we, you know, can get into some postseason play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's go back to last week's game against Iowa for a minute. You guys went toe-to-toe with the Hawkeyes for 3 straight quarters, and then they just pulled away a little bit in the 4th. But what do you hope the players take away from a game like that, knowing that you guys really took a good team down to the wire?
Well, we talked after our first game with Iowa, and obviously that was that got out of hand, and it wasn't how anybody wanted that game to go. So the players, we talked, and mostly the players talked about, you know, from that game, what are some areas we can commit to, and a lot of it was effort, communication, you know, leaving it all on the floor, all the things that, you know, you hear, you know, teams talk about a lot. Now, why are we showing that? I thought we were talking positive. But, you know, I felt like they did all those things that we said we would commit to, and it just happened to be that we had a rematch with them at their place. Now, why are we showing that?
That's a good question. I'll have to talk to our editors about that. I'll have to talk to our editors about that. You let me take care of that, Linz. Don't you worry.
It's all good. And, you know, it's like, you know, nobody's in this for moral victories. You know, we talk about it all the time, and I listen and read things. And but at the same time, it's, you know, we take a tough loss, and you know, what do you do after that? That's what determines like who you are as a person, what you are as a team. You know, after you have some real adversity, and losing by that many points is some real adversity, and we all had to look ourselves in the mirror, and we had to look ourselves as a team and see what we're going to do. So in that aspect, to be in a 1-point game in the 3rd and to have it be how tightly contested and how competitive it was, I was proud of our team for that. And obviously, it's Iowa, it's a rival. Always, of course, want to win. But in that aspect, there was, you know, some proud moments out of that game that we could take. And like you said, you know, going toe-to-toe with one of the top teams in our conference, it's, you know, we're playing really well right now.
Well, I'm really anxious to see what video we have for this next question here, Linz. But you mentioned Caitlyn Clark. The first game at Williams Arena, obviously she had a triple-double. She was tremendous. She kind of did whatever she wanted. In Iowa City, she still got her numbers. She still got her points. But kind of like with Sarah Scalia, she had to work for him. I mean, how much more comfortable with the game plan was your team with Caitlyn Clark the second time around as opposed to the first one? Because obviously she's going to win Player of the Year. She's a tremendous player.
Well, let me watch the video before I get to talk.
All right, let's see what we got here. Let's roll. Up. Can we go to this here? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a good start. So,
that's a turnover.
I spoke too soon.
Yeah, that's Caitlyn Clark.
Well, here's the thing. So we just talked about Diva, right?
Yep.
And we had Diva start on her in this game. So it's like as we spoke. Okay, Diva, didn't come off the bench. You know, hit 5 threes, guard the best player, the leading scorer and assist player in the nation. And she did that. And, you know, obviously, you know, she still got 32, which is a credit to her for the amount of work that she's put into her game. But I did feel like we made her work for it. You know, she got herself to the line. That's all I'll say about that. But, you know, she's a tremendous player. But, you know, Diva, what can you do? Okay, go take Caitlyn Clark for us and hound her and meet her all over the floor and not let her get loose. And, you know, I think it was the game before that she had 46 on Michigan and pulled up from the logo a few times against Michigan. So, But yeah, just the way that the league is and how players are competing, and just how talented some of these players are. It's a really fun time to be in this league, and just goes to show it's where the game wins basketball is going. And players like Caitlyn Clark, there's no question. She's a real dynamic player.
Yeah, you mentioned she had 32 in that game, but she was nearly outdone by one of your own. Deja Winters exploded for 30 on the night. She really carried you guys in that game. Were you expecting that type of performance from her on that night?
I mean, I don't know about 30. And after the game, watching it back, I told her you should have 40. She started 2 for 9 in that game. And I think she kind of got herself to a different level when she, obviously we've gotten all accustomed to her knocking down open shots. And she missed one in the corner in the third. And I think that's as much emotion as I've seen out of her as far as just kind of, taking herself to that next level of just determination. And then she goes and gets 30 on the road. And, first half, here's a shot in the first half, but she was a little more quiet in the first half. And then she just exploded in the second. And, obviously, like I said, all of our seniors, we're gonna miss these guys. And we've had 1 year with Deja and 1 year with Bailey and a little bit longer with, with Kayla. And, me and Diva have been together forever now. All my 4 years, Diva's been here. So, but yeah, she works on her game. She's a gamer. She comes ready to work and just got that quick release. Got a great floater. I mean, really a great floater, and really proud of how she played that night.
All right, there you have it, Lindsay Whalen. More to come here on the Gopher Coaches Show with Lindsay Whalen. We're talking shooting, passing, what's ahead for this team coming up with just a handful of games remaining. More on that coming up on the Gopher Coaches Show.
Back to the Gopher Coaches Show.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Gopher Coaches Show. Lindsay Whalen with us this week. Let's talk about what's ahead for you guys coming up this week. You're back home against Rutgers. You've beaten them once already, but what's it going to take to knock them off twice this year?
Well, this time of year, February, you got to look at trends, and you have to look at how teams are playing. You can't look at even, a month and a half ago when we played them. Everybody's different at this point. Teams evolve and take on, different, identities as a team. And so for them in February, if you just look at February, they won their last game against Penn State. But it's a single-digit game with Nebraska on the road, and then they're up 8 at halftime against Ohio State. And so, for us, for this game, in order for us to be successful, we have to win the rebounding battle. And they're holding teams in the 30s percent-wise, so that means there's offensive rebounds available. Obviously, we would like to shoot a higher percentage than that, but if their defense is really tenacious, so if we aren't hitting our outside shots, we've got to rebound the ball. So rebounding battle, our offensive rebounding, and then we have to keep them off the line. The last game that they won the rebounding battle with Penn State, and then they won the free throw line battle. They shot 29 free throws against Penn State. And so in game 1 against them, we lost the rebounding battle, but we shot right around 40, and then we won the free throw battle. So those are the keys. Is we have to rebound, and we have to get to the line, and we have to keep them off the line. And so it's all those little possessions here or there that it comes down to. Over half of the games in the Big Ten that they have lost, they've been single digits. So we've got to play with a great deal of poise. And like I said, right now in February we're 2-2. We've spoke about how we've played really well against 2 ranked teams on the road. We've won our home games. Well, they've essentially done the same thing. They've played right there with Nebraska on the road, up 8 at halftime against Ohio State, and then they get their first win on Sunday against Penn State. So, this time of year, it's about who's playing well and what we can do to try to take them out of the things that they've done successfully, and they're going to try to do the same against us. So, big test of wills on Thursday night.
And going back to that January 6th game, I remember balance from them. Maybe not someone that exceeded in terms of the scoring. It's something like 20 points a night. But Ash Brown consistently has been kind of their double threat. So what stands out about her, and how do you worry about her on Thursday?
Well, she's a variety of post moves on the block, left shoulder, but then just tenacious tenacious rebounding. See, I told you left shoulder. Nice up and under. Well, JG, you were at this game. I missed this one.
You were here, yeah. I can
out.
give you some pointers if you need them. I was there.
You know, that old appendix got me. So this was one, though, that was our first Big Ten win, and Carly did a great job of coaching our team. Coach Kelly had the scout, so just a full team effort to be able to get that one. But you see here, you know, I guess now we've moved on to Penn State, but they've played the last 2 games. They've been, you know, they probably should have beaten Ohio State on the road, and then they beat Penn State at home. So, but no question, Osh is she's playing really well. She's you know, right there at the double-double. So we have to keep her off the boards and get to that left shoulder as much as we can.
Yeah, you guys have been playing with some momentum as of late. You've won 3 of your last 5. We talked about how you came awfully close against Iowa. What's changed or what's gotten better during this stretch for you guys?
Well, you know, I think you know, I just think our approach has been really really good. I think our seniors are leading us. Our seniors are doing a great job. I feel like we're rebounding the ball at a really high level. We've had people step up, you know, against Michigan State. You know, Lex here, who we see has 13 in that game and really does a great job coming in off the bench and running the point guard. You know, Sarah's, you know, steadily guided us all season. That game against Michigan State, Sarah hits 3 threes in the first quarter, and that kind of gives us, everybody has a deep breath. But some big-time hustle plays against Michigan State. And then, you know, they're having fun. I mean, look at this. They're having a lot of fun. They're playing, you know, kind of one more. How can I make a play for a teammate? And different people have stepped up. Like I said, Sarah's been there the whole season. Last few games, LBK, Diva, you know, Deja at Iowa. You know, we probably don't beat Michigan State if we don't have Bailey's contributions in the second half, especially on the defensive end. So I could go down the line of everybody who's really had a great impact, and we're going to need everybody Thursday and then Sunday on the road.
All right, stick around. More to come with Lindsay Whalen on the other side of the break. When we come back, we'll look ahead to the final handful of games of the regular season. That's next.
Watching the Gopher Coaches Show.
Welcome back to the Gopher Coaches Show, joined by Lindsay Whalen. Coach, you guys only have 4 games left in the regular season. 2 are at home, 2 are on the road. Obviously, you want to see wins, but what is it that you're also hoping to see during this home stretch of the season here?
Well, you said it. You know, wins. You know, it's you got to win your home games, and you know, can we go steal some on the road? And so it's more or less so just what does our team need to do each game? You know, when it comes to what can we take away from our opponents that they're doing well, and it's a test of will. So what can we do? What can we continue to do well that's working for us right now? And so to me, that's where it is. That's where this whole thing, you know, lies as far as the wins and losses. It's, you know, can we keep Rutgers off the glass on Thursday? You know, can we keep them off the free throw line? Can we play inside out, get our feet in paint, and create high percentage shots for each other on Thursday night? If we do those things, I feel pretty good about our chances. Now, if we don't, it's the Big Ten, and anybody can beat anybody. Right now, it's, you know, the other day, Northwestern beats Michigan in double overtime. Wisconsin comes back from 20 down against Purdue, beats them. You know, Rutgers beats Penn State. So it's just, but that's why it's fun. That's why it's so fun. Competing in the Big Ten, playing in one of the best conferences in women's basketball. I've told some people this recently. It's every night you play, it's an NCAA tournament game in this conference. And so we love the challenge, we love the preparation, and we love the competition. So we're going to keep working and keep battling and hopefully come up with some more wins in this stretch run in the regular season.
Lindsay, we left a couple of minutes here at the end of the show. There's a Fox 9 family elephant in the room as it pertains to the other show I'm on, Enough Said, Friday nights, 9:30 with Dan Barrero and Lori Fisher. You've
Emmy Award winning, right?
Emmy nominated. Yeah, Emmy nominated. We haven't won one yet.
One day.
You've guest hosted that show. You know the show well.
Yes.
You know Lori Fisher well. We've got a problem in that she continuously wants to take your relationship, Lindsay and Lori, to the next level.
Yes.
We just need your reaction to this clip from this last Friday.
Brunch. Just one day, brunch, please.
You just want to have a brunch with Lindsay?
She's smarter than that.
Well, let's
she
put
knows
this out on the internet. Brunch with Lindsay Whalen.
If she
Lori
opens
Fisher.
the door once, that's it. You'd be a stalker.
What if Justin had a brunch date with her and then he didn't
happened
show
to
up
show
and
up.
I walked in the door? do you think she would stay?
Yes.
I think she'd be frightened, though.
Yeah,
I really
she
do.
wouldn't leave because she's a nice person.
I think she'd go, man, what do we?
Okay, well, let's think about
Stage
some
5
ways
flanger.
to make it happen.
I don't.
That's not weird at all.
So do you have a response to this?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
First of
embarrassed
all-
for her. We all are, but you go ahead.
No, well, first of all, I apologize because I was gonna respond on social media, but I kind of took the weekend to just decompress a little bit.
That's smart.
So I meant to respond back on Twitter. I would love to go to brunch. I never turn down, eggs, bacon, French toast, a latte, cappuccino. So I don't turn that down. It'll just have to be probably after the season because the weekend days of brunch time are kind of few and far between right now. But I'd love to after the season. So I'm gonna hit her back on Twitter though, on social, so it's official.
Just be careful though, because you give Lori an inch, she'll take a mile, and then the next thing you know, she's going to be behind the bench at every game, asking what the next one is, right?
It's going to be the worst mistake you've ever made here coming up, without a doubt.
Enough said.
We'll get it
Enough
done.
said.
Enough said. Yeah, we'll get it done. All right, you made Lori's day. That'll be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it after. We'll figure it out a date to go, JG.
Yeah. And after the season's good, too. Better weather, I think.
Here, you can come too.
Can I?
Here. I know you were
Pierre's
just waiting for the
busy. He's got
invite, so
stuff.
you can come here.
I'm watching my cholesterol, as you know, but I'll just
Okay,
have
hey,
I'll have
you know
salad.
what? Fruit, yogurt, fruit, granola, you're good.
That's perfect. I got to get on that workout routine that the players have. Lindsay, we appreciate you taking the time. Best of luck the rest of the season. We will see you next week right here on the Gopher Coaches Show. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week right here on Fox 9.